Good morning, guys. All you fellers and girls and gals. Hey, Papa Fixit's got vacation's over, and Nana said time for Papa to go back to work. See how that works? Vacation's over. Hey, we had a great time on the cruise. We have a new project, and uh, I'm a school bus driver. I'm off work for the summer, so I got a lot of free time on my hands. So I got this project that we're going to jump into, and it's a bit of a mess, uh, but we're going to get through it and see if we can't make something nice out of it. So let me show you what we're working on here. Not that. This is I think it's a 2007 Chevy Aveo, little four-cylinder. It's got to put a charge on that battery. We're getting fired up here in a minute. It's throwing some codes, the check engine light stuff, that fun stuff. Hey, let me back up here. Look, it's not too bad looking car, right? It's fairly straight. It's got some stuff. Got some aftermarket wheels on it. But it's pretty dirty, and it hasn't been driven in a while because the check engine light, and it wouldn't pass smog. But the trunk here, I cleaned most of the trash out, and I'm telling you guys, this was like a vice grip garage special. The amount of stuff that we found in there, and we've got the same kind of thing going on inside. Let's go around and look at that. I got a few things that have to be fixed. I mean, it can be cleaned up. It's just dirty, but it's pretty much mostly there. It just needs raccoon, badger, I don't know, chainsaw. It's just dirty. It is dirty. That window regulator quit, so they were holding it up with window tinting, duct tape, and Mickey Mouse stickers. I guess. Anyways, I'm gonna clean it up. These seats need to be cleaned, carpets cleaned. All of it can be cleaned. So I need to fix that window regulator. In the driver's seat here, we've got a broken door handle, so you have to roll the window down to, reach out and around, and you know the trick. I think maybe that badger that chewed up the back seat got a hold of that. Anyways, we got a few things in here we can look at. I got an idea for this. The foam's all broken down on that steering wheel, but it's dirty. But we're gonna clean it up. Now, you probably saying to yourself, Papa, that's a mess, and it's just a Chevy Aveo. Why would you even bother? The sticker for sale sign on it. Move it, right? Well, it's got a deeper story than that, guys. So this car belonged to my brother before he passed away a few years back. My older brother, and it's been it's changed hands within the family as far as who's driving it over the last several years. But now his daughter, my niece, she is turning 16 this year, actually this week, and she will be looking to get her driver's license soon. So I'm gonna get this car fixed up. For my niece. And so I'm going to make sure all the check engine light stuff's taken care of. Make sure all the mechanicals are functioning. We'll get it clean. Papa's going to clean it up. And we'll fix those window regulators. Fix the door handles. Get it cleaned up. It's got some body panels that are loose and stuff, but I'm going to throw some zip ties on them. I got a couple of ideas. but we'll get it. So that's the long-term plan. Is can I get it? Can I get it cleaned up and get it somewhat dependable enough for a 16-year-old kid to drive around in, right? Okay, I popped the trunk on this thing and cleaned it out, and I got some more cleaning to do, and I think this is the way to go. Look here, I popped the little drain down there, right? So now I can just hose this trunk out. But there's more beach sand, and we don't even live near the beach. We're 150 miles from any beach. But I found some usable stuff. But look at this stuff. That's some kind of food and sand packed into those wheels. I don't know, man. I'm just gonna hose it out, and keep hosing until it all gets out of there. And it's like, yeah, I don't know, guys. See, we're making a go of it, and it'll come out. I think it'll come out pretty quick. You look at that. Most of it's sand. Well, guys, it's telling me it's fully charged and it's maintaining. I hosed it off, and I think I might have got the computer wet, but let's fire it up. Fire it up and see what we hear. I think we got well, it could have some evap stuff going on, but I think it's got a cam timing sensor that's out. Let's give it a little crank, see if it'll start. Gauges are, now let's turn the key on, see what we see. Okay, nothing unusual. Slow to crank. I had it fired up a second ago, and now it won't crank. I'll be darned. Yeah. Fun. We took a hike around the property. How'd you like all that? Kind of a pain. Kind of a pain in the you know what. Let's neither one of these chargers are the ones I like, because they're both of the kind that they got lots of electronics. Lots of electronics running them. And the electronic brain in it will say it's fully charged and it'll turn off. Or if it doesn't have enough charge, it won't turn on. And they're trying to protect you from blowing up your battery. You know, like liability. Because some people don't know much about batteries, and they plug a charger in and they blow it up. They blow up the battery. Get this rigged up here for a minute. In a minute, we may not be any better off. But I've had this charger whole lot longer than I've had that little dinky one. Also has, you know, automatic computerized BS, but it sometimes it does a better job. Now see, it's showing me 12.5 volts, and it'll show me the battery's only 80%. See, my other one was shutting off, so that's part of the problem. Now when you go to turn it on, if it doesn't like the battery, it'll turn itself back off. But if I can get it convinced that this is a good idea, then it'll let me turn it up to 8, sometimes 12 amps, and it'll charge fast. Sometimes it'll say, oh no, this battery's no good, and I won't do that. So we'll see. If it'll hit it at 12 amps, it'll bring that battery up fast. And that's what I need. Then I won't have to jump start it. But we got plans. Now we got a plan. This is a better charger. That other one's okay, but this is a better charger. Yeah, so if it's gonna hold it, the 12 amp rate will be okay. And then over here you can just select for what kind of battery you have. It'll do the gel cells, a deep cycle, or a regular battery. This is a regular battery. If you had an Optima or one of the newer batteries that are gel cells, you know, even your kids' little toy cars, a lot of those are gel cell batteries, and you can charge them with this, but you'd want to go there. Marine batteries and RVs are deep cycles. Yeah, now see, that's pushing a lot harder. That's pushing juice. The other one wasn't even doing anything. It was like, you're done. So maybe I won't need these. Should I put them back in the trunk? Yeah, I think so. Let's do that, because that's where I thought they was. Oh, I left the keys in the house. I'll put them in the back seat. Floorboard. At least I'll have them with me when I go look for them. They'll be in this car. Yeah, so that is yeah, that's almost 90% already. It's probably not enough to start it. Might be. You want to give it a try? Let's give it a go, huh? What do you say? What do you say? We turn the key on. We're gonna need some fuel. All right, it started right up. So it just needed a little bit more juice. I got it running. I'll see if the alternator's working. There's no idiot light here telling me anything about the alternator, but I'm gonna give it some throttle, see what it does. All right, I got a response that time. Last time I didn't get any response. It just idled like it was in limp mode, which is probably because of the dead battery. So now you can see there's a check engine light on. I don't know if you can see that. The check engine light's on, so there's some issues, but it runs good. So whatever the issues is, they're minor. Now, you know, you can plug in that, you can buy a little tester and plug it in, and it'll tell you where your code's coming from. Oh, now see here, this is already jumped over to charged, and it's telling me the alternator's showing me 14 volts. So let's go down here to alternator and see what it really says. Alright. It's 100% because that's what the alternator is putting out, is 14. So that's good if that's true. Now, a previous video, I think we talked about these old-fashioned battery testers. Right? Let's unhook this. This one goes on the positive. This one goes on the negative. The sad cable. I've been watching too much Vice Grip Garage. So he's on the sad cable. Let me get you in the shade here. And you see, we're up there at 14 volts, which is what the other charger was telling us, right? So that's telling me that alternator's charging. But right now that battery's being charged by the alternator, which is what it's supposed to do. These old testers are kind of cool. Now, you hear that? I put a huge load on it, and you can hear the engine lug down because that alternator hit hard. But it's right back up, so it's working. Now, this will also tell me how many volts is in the battery. If I shut the key off, this is going to drop down to 12 volts or whatever, but it doesn't have a full charge, so it isn't going to hold well, even though it says it's got a full charge. So that's only the alternator. So you can use these little, they're in some ways they're better than the new digital ones. You just have to understand what it's trying to tell you. You know, here it'll give you a chart here, how many cranking amps you're going to have, or volts. It tells you how to use it. They're cool. They're old school. They got a coil in here. It gets really hot when you hit the load button. See, there's a load button right here. You hit that button and it connects the load and it heats that coil up. And if your battery's got a bad cell in it, that needle is just pegged to 0. If it's not very good, it may go over here to, the yellow. But if it's a good battery, you're 12 volts, and you hit the load tester, it should drop to maybe 11 and a half and hang there. If it drops much farther than that, it's no good. So right now it's running pretty good. It sounds good. Let's take this load tester off. That's a good old tool, and I love that thing, man. Had that thing for 30 years or more. Let's put our battery back on. Our charger, I mean. Yeah. So it's telling me the alternator's putting out 14.2 volts. Let's turn this car off and let that continue to charge. Anyways, I was talking about getting one of those testers for your car to see what's going on with it. Temperature's coming up a little bit. It doesn't overheat, far as I know. Got 180,000 miles on it, and it's dirty. So I'm gonna have to scrub it. It's got the CD player. I don't know if that works. The AC used to work, but might have to have that fixed. It came on. see if it gets cold. That'd be cool. Yeah, I mean, it'll be all right. Madeline's 16. This will be her first car. My niece is 16. This will be her first car. And it was her mama and her daddy's car. They passed away several years back. And so I think she was 6, so 10 years ago. And this will be good for her. I'm happy to do something like this for her. I clean up that ashtray. Yeah, it's got a, alright, some kind of light there that's missing, but everything else is pretty good. I don't know what that hold light's for. Anybody know what that is? Hold button. I don't know. Well, AC's working. So that's kind of cool. AC works. It's cold. That's cool. Kinda don't think the radio's gonna work, fellers. I don't think the radio's gonna work, guys. Don't know why. Might have a blown fuse. But yeah, more things for me to do. Yeah, I mean, plenty of things for me to work on. You know, get this top of the steering wheel fixed. Anyways, I was talking about the testing, the check engine light stuff, right? That's you usually got a sensor or something goofy out, right? It's running really good, so it's not like a big deal. But it won't pass California smog with the check engine light on. Even if the emissions are clean, it won't pass with the light on. So you plug the computer in, it'll tell you you got codes. And I could do that, and if I had the reader, I could plug it in and start chasing the codes, looking for the sensor that's out. But it could be any number of things. But I don't have the computer for that, because I don't have the right equipment to get into that. But I've got a mechanic across town. I said bring it to him in the morning, and so he's gonna jump on it in the morning, and I don't think it'll be too bad. I really don't. It's probably a cam timing sensor or a vacuum hose or something. I mean, 9 times out of 10, that's what it is. Let him get in there and see what he can figure out, and I'll have him check it over, make sure mechanically there's nothing that needs immediate attention. We'll change the fluids, make sure it's not overheating, make sure everything's good to go, and then just start repairing things. Got this steering wheel to do, got that window regulator back there. Could use some new door handles. This is the speed deleted one with the optional open from the outside, and that one's got some chrome delete on it. I think that's factory. There's some other chrome delete, but those are not critical issues. So this is it was available. It should be available. It's just you got to take that door panel off. It's kind of a pain in the you know what, but there's only this little lever right here. You see the lever? See that lever right there, guys, with the green clip on it? That green clip snaps into this little piece of plastic. That's all that's left of the handle that pivots on here. So you can take that all apart. There's 1 or 2 screws that hold it in, and you pop that out. May have to let that ride. I don't think I want to buy all 4 brand new handles, but I'll get that, make sure the regulators work. Let's see what we got here. Driver window regulator works. It's all right. Uh-oh. Passenger side regulator is not working. It's got a lock for the windows. Driver side rear window regulator works. Okay, passenger side window is not working. Could be a switch. Could be the regulator itself. Anyways, that's what we got. Turn it off. Let it continue to charge its battery and see where we are. Battery's 100%. Well, that's what it says right now. But let's let it. Let's see what it does when I unhook it. Sometimes you got to unhook them, then reconnect them, and then it says, "Oh, guess what? That ain't completely there." Yeah, 90%. So let that ride nice and slow. How about that? That's the best way to charge them to full capacity. Put them on nice and slow. I'm not getting that clip to stay where I want it. All right, we'll let that sucker charge. It's not cooperating. What I like to do, I like to make sure my clip here is making contact with the post of the battery. The chance that this terminal is somewhat dirty and it will could cause this to charge slower because it's not clean. It'll also make it hard to start even if the battery's at 100%. So as I have this one, I just got the corner touching that post right there. I'm trying to get this one to do the same thing, but you can see it just keeps sliding off. I can't quite get it to dig in. Oh, there we go. Yeah, where battery's back at 80. That might be all the gooder that battery's gonna get. But let's let it ride. Let's let it ride a while, see what it does. No, that ain't right. Well, we're gonna try to take this little blue hot rod down to how come the key won't turn? What the hell? Battery's dead, and I just set overnight. It might have a drain. All right, so we got the old girl out, trying to help this young pup get fired up. Yeah, there's something going on there. to run when the battery's low, I think, is the problem. I don't know. I hate it. Let's get this scene right. Well, it's idling. Let's go and hook those jumper cables before it make my car sick. I want the cancer to spread. I don't want it to spread. Now I'm going to let it sit here and idle for a little bit. Let it charge the battery a little bit. We're gonna have to Friday. Good job, girl. Maybe it's because the light switch is on. We'll find out. Could be daytime running lights. Could be the stupid switch is on. Let's go check that out. Well, let's see here. No, it's in the off position. What are those, fog lights? I don't know. All right, well, I don't know. All right, well, so we're going to take it to the end of the block and get some gas, and afraid to turn it off, but we're going to have to put a little bit of gas in it before I take it to the shop, or it's going to be dead when he tries to work on it. So we're going to sneak down here and get some gas, and then we'll take this thing to the shop. Hopefully it'll run all the way. I mean, it runs good when it runs, and I don't know, it could have a drain killing that battery. It could just be a weak battery. It's 4 years old. They just don't last like they used to. One thing I didn't do was the battery load test after I had it fully charged yesterday, and I should have done that. So let's see, I live close to gas. All right, we got 5 gallons. Give us half a tank, and it hasn't overheated yet, so now if we can just snake it across town to the shop, we should be okay. I guess we'll have him put a battery in. It sounds like I got a bearing up in the front that might be causing me grief. Not positive. Anyways, that's where we're headed.